Hi, I'm Catherine. I'm from Cheltenham, Victoria, and I'd like to motivate people to live their best life with Pompe disease. 18 years ago, I was pregnant with my second child. I started to sort of have a bit of a walk when I was about 8 months pregnant, and I couldn't get upstairs either. And it started to affect my job, and I was a bit worried, but not really, because I thought, oh, the baby will come out, things will just get better. But it didn't work that way. I had him in June, and by December I was seeing neurologist after neurologist to try and figure out what was wrong. It wasn't until 7 years later that I was actually diagnosed with Pompe disease. I suppose I'm promoting a holistic approach, although I hate that word because I feel like it's a bit airy-fairy. And I'm not going for anything different other than making sure that everything that works for me comes together. So that's diet, it's exercise, it's an antidepressant, it is sunshine, it is family, friends, NDIS, it's asking for help, it's going outside and doing all the things that I love to do. So every second week I have an infusion here at home. It's life-changing. I used to go to the hospital, and going to the hospital every second week was really nerve-wracking for somebody who doesn't want to go out on their own. So Peter comes here every second Friday. He mixes the drug. He is so lovely, and really just, it's really reassuring, I suppose, just to have a nurse here all day. I can, whether I do jobs around the house so that I don't have to do them in my family time, that's really important to me. And also I can continue to work from home as well, which is great, so I'm not missing out on any income, which is fantastic. So when you're diagnosed with Pompe disease, you start to read up on diet and exercise and things like that. Diet will tell you to have a high protein diet, low carb, low sugar. I took that to the extreme and I cut out all carbs and sugar. I lost over 5 kilos, and at the time I was 45 kilos, and I have never been sicker in my life. So basically for me, diet and exercise, it's all about, I suppose, a balance. I like to have a wine, I like to have a block of chocolate here and there, or at least a couple of bars. And I've now got this balance of, eating healthy, eating well, but obviously listening to my body as well. So I've been exercising for a while now, but recently this year I kind of stepped it up because I know that I have to do something to keep my strength. Every time I go to the gym, I think to myself, just show up, because that's the first step basically, is just showing up. I don't want to go. Most of the time I'm in my pyjamas or I'm in a tracksuit and I think, oh, gym, couldn't think of anything worse. And then I just get up and go, and it is amazing. It changes your life, how you feel, just in yourself, I suppose. And this year I've been going 3 times a week, 1 hour sessions, 3 PTs, and everything has changed for me. I've gone to a gym, for gym junkies, I suppose. It's called the Fit Shop. It's something that I never would have thought I would walk into before in my life. I thought I was, not good enough, I suppose, or not fit enough. And they work with me to do things that I didn't think I could do, and things that I have realised have translated into real life as well. So things like holding kettlebells and walking, and that translates to me holding the shopping, or at the factory carrying things, setting up markets, that kind of stuff. So things that I've always just said, can somebody else do that? Now I think I can do that, and I'm doing it now. So I love the fact that I've seen the translation of gym into life. With having Pompe disease, people often talk about pain, I never had any pain for all these years, but over the last couple of years it's just kind of started with niggles in my back and shoulders and neck and those kind of areas, and I think that's got a lot to do with the way we walk and move around, I suppose. So I started remedial massage, and it has absolutely changed my life, and I think just the fact that I'm doing it every 2 weeks, so it's quite regular as well, it's part of my routine now. It hurts, it's not a fun experience, but at the same time, what you get out of it and the way that you feel afterwards, just having that less pain and just being able to move more freely, I suppose, afterwards, it's actually really is life-changing for me. So that, along with the exercise, is just, really made a huge difference in my life. I have funding now for a carer, and a carer for me means somebody coming to help me to go shopping. I'm nervous about falls, I'm nervous about, a few little things, I suppose, well, not little, but a few big things when I go out. Somebody to help me carry the shopping, somebody to just be there, to give me the freedom to go and do what I want to do, whether it's running errands, whether it's shopping for presents or, or going out to have a good time or walking the dog. Having, I call her Alison Carer, there has absolutely changed my life. It means that my husband doesn't have to come home from work and have a list. There used to be a list. He'd come home from work and then I'd say, right, I've got to do this, this and this and this. And he'd be thinking, yeah, I know you can't do it by yourself, so let's go. But really, that's not what he wants to do, and that's not us spending our time together. I love being with people. I love my friends. We've got a group, the Housewives of Cheltenham, and, at any given point, there could be 20 people in my house on a Wednesday night or a Friday night, or, any time the sun's out, everybody starts messaging, which I love that. I love that social side of life. So after 18 years of this Pompe journey, I think back to when I was first diagnosed with some kind of a condition, not Pompe disease at that time. Somebody told me I was going to be in a wheelchair, have to change my job, my life's going to look a lot different. I suppose I cried every night for quite a period of time, actually, usually when everybody was asleep. It kind of hits you, because again, you don't know how you're going to live like that. You can't picture yourself living like that. I started a journal as well, so at night time when everyone was asleep, I started writing down how I felt in a journal and all the changes that were happening to me at the time. And because it was really in mourning of my previous life that I was about to lose. I think it was about 2 years I wrote a journal for. And then I never read it. Because eventually, I wasn't crying for 2 years, but I started writing down everything that was affected and that sort of thing. But gosh, it took me a while to really snap out of it. And I was living, nobody would have noticed the difference externally. But when I was by myself and really thinking about it, and of course I couldn't stop thinking about it, things were happening, I didn't know why. There was no diagnosis, so it was pretty scary. But one day I just got up and I put that journal in the bin because I thought, what am I doing with this? Why am I focusing so much on this? And I also just sort of thought, I never want to read that. I don't want to read how I was at that time. And in hindsight, 18 years later, I would love to read that journal now. I'd love to have seen it, but I couldn't keep it because if I was going to hold on to that, to me, holding on to that sort of meant for me that I was going to hold on to being somebody with a disease or being somebody else. I don't want to be somebody else, I want it to be me. So, I let go of that. But not to say that is not an up and down, life that I'm going through. But, I'm 49. I didn't think I'd make 40. I was so excited to make 40. I'm about to make 50, and life is different, but it's great.